Okay, awesome. So today is day five. Welcome to day five. Is everybody feeling pumped? Put it in the chat box how you guys are feeling. Oh, Karuna said hi, Dolly. Sorry, I didn't see the chat. It's pumped, right? Yeah, I am so definitely pumped because I had a long day and I had a really nice day. I feel good when I make a lot of money. So yeah, I made a lot of money today. I had a lot of orders, and the sales are increasing. So it's really good. It feels like all the work that I categorically put is working. So I'm like, yes, it's working. Awesome. So yesterday we talked about understanding where costs are going, right? Even if you have everything in place, you might end up missing some things out. So today, how many of you are ready to do some work? I'm gonna ask you to do some work because yesterday we did a little bit of strategy. So today also we're going to be doing a little bit of strategy, but I'm gonna ask you guys to do some work. Okay. So how do you understand the cost of a product? So in business, what happens most of the time is, we, especially women when they're starting off um, baking and they're trying to sell, they just take into consideration the ingredient cost. They don't take into consideration a lot of other things. I think we covered this in the introduction part. The first 7 days we covered it, but we're going to go into in depth. Okay, so there are three kinds of costs. So number one is your fixed cost. When I'm talking about fixed cost, what am I talking about? Things that don't change. That every month, whether you're going to be doing baking, whether you're not going to be doing baking, these costs will remain. For example, I have a storefront, right? Whether I do sales or I don't do sales, will the rent increase? Will the rent always be there? The cost of the rent will always be there. Of course, the cost of the rent will always be there, right? For another thing, another example of fixed cost would be the equipment that you buy. Whether you're going to bake in it or you don't bake in it, you've already paid money for the oven, right? So that's a fixed cost. All right. What about internet and phone bills? Whether you use the internet for business or not, the internet bill you'll still have to buy. You'll still have to pay. Your phone bill you'll still have to pay, right? Whether you use it for business or not. Now, and the next one would be business licenses. If, for example, if you go for FSSAI, which I strongly recommend that you do, your license, once you pay for it, no, they don't even care if you're going to do if you're selling or you're not selling. Once it's paid, it's paid, right? And then maybe also subscription fees. Like for example, I have a subscription fees for Zoom, so I keep paying the subscription fees for Zoom every single month. I think it's something around 1,500 or 1,700. I keep paying this. One second, Elizabeth is joining. I keep paying this to Zoom. Whether I have an online class or I don't have an online class, Zoom doesn't care, right? I end up paying the subscription fee. Make sense? So can you list down what are your fixed costs? See, I've mentioned rent, I've mentioned baking equipment, I've mentioned internet and phone bills, mentioned business licenses if you have business licenses. I've also mentioned subscription fees. Like sometimes what happens is you end up subscribing for an accounting software or some paid app. For example, if you are let's say there's a accounting software called Zoho. There is a free version for it. There is a, yeah, Canva. Good job, Rachel. Canva is something that is a subscription every month you're paying, right? Whether you're designing something on it or not is a different story, but you are ending up paying. Yeah, great. So can you write down, like right now I understand that you are not paying rent for your business, right? You're doing it from home, but it's a great practice to just measure your kitchen area or the area that you use for baking and assign an amount for it, assign some sort of rent for it. Can you please do that? Rent, baking, what is the baking equipment that you have? Just eyeball it a little bit. See, you might not have all the warranty cards and all the price charts and all that, right? But you kind of know how much you spent. See, right now we are just doing it as an exercise, but I would recommend that you take out those warranty cards and see the price tags and all of that, and actually write the cost down. But right now, just eyeball it. Your baking pans, your oven, your mixers, whatever equipment that you have that you're using for your home baking business. I know, Karuna, you haven't started, but I'm sure you have some sort of equipment, right? Okay. Internet and phone bill. So every month, how much money are you paying towards internet? I'm sure your entire house is using your internet, right? So see how much you can assign to baking. How much out of the Wi-Fi, how much of it is used um, for your business? Phone bill, yes, I'm sure you're using your phone for your personal stuff also. Personally, you're talking to people, but a lot of it is also being used for your baking, right? So at least give it a percentage. At least if you're paying, let's say, 300 rupees every month for your phone bill. I'm just taking a vague number. At least half of it should go for your business, right? Then business licenses. Like for me, I would have to write down my CA, the fees for my CA. Then things like annually I renew FSSAI certificate, GST certificate. So all those things are something that I need to take into consideration when I'm saying business licenses, my labor license. Yeah. Website, if I'm getting on a online menu thing, right? So that is a yearly thing, so that I will have to put down. And finally, any subscriptions like Canva or Zoom or things like that, that you use for business. Did you note them all down? Can you please give me a yes in the chat? Yes, awesome, great. What is the next thing? The next kind of cost is called the variable cost. When I'm saying variable cost, what is it? It's a depending on how many orders you get, the costs keep increasing. For example, if you're not baking, let's say you're baking only 2 cakes, will you buy more than 1 kg maida? No, you won't. But if you're making 10 cakes, how much maida you'll buy? You'll buy more, or will you buy less? Obviously you'll buy more. So what happens, it's not a fixed cost, it is going up and down depending on the number of orders you have. Make sense? So that is why it is called a variable cost. It's a changing cost. So what come under the variable costs? Variable costs are basically your ingredients, whatever ingredients that you buy. Yesterday we talked a lot about ingredients, right? Making the shift between bulk ordering and buying just for the order. When will you do bulk ordering? Bulk ordering will happen when you have a regular flow of orders. But if you're getting one order here and there, you will be smart about buying retail stuff and not in bulk. Got it? So your ingredient cost, as you're growing, is also going to change. Your variables cost is also going to change. Like for example, right now I'm buying stuff in bulk. I think I buy around 50,000 to 60,000 stock every month. Why? Because I know without a shadow of doubt, I know that I will do a 2.5 lakh of sales. Make sense? I know that because I over and over again I figured out that that is the least number that I can hit. Okay, so by default I will buy that much of stock. But whereas for you guys, you're still building your business, so it is dependent on an order. So only when an order comes, you end up buying. Yes. So for some time, let it be like that. It's fine. You're not losing out any money there. Okay. So variable cost will be your ingredients like flour, sugar, oil, butter, eggs, etc., chocolate, etc. Number two is going to be your packaging cost. Yeah, depending on depending on how many orders you get, that much packaging you'll buy. For example, in the beginning you might just buy like 10 boxes, but as the order is growing, you will buy, let's say, 50 boxes. Does that make sense? Yeah. The third one will be gas and electricity. Depending on your orders, your electricity is going to go up or down. Yeah. And in a home setting, it is very difficult to calculate. So basically, we keep it down to 1 hour per recipe, right? 1 hour of electricity per recipe. So which works out to 20 to 25 rupees per cake, which is electricity. Gas, again, you will have to figure out how much in a month, how much, like, are you using earlier before baking? Would you get the gas cylinder once a month, or was it once in 2 months? But now it is coming off like every 20 days we need a gas cylinder. So you know how much to assign. Yeah. Yeah, the next thing would be delivery cost. If you are giving, if you're giving the service of delivery, that is something that you need to think about, right? Delivery cost is also a variable cost. So this one I will ask you not, I can't ask you to note it down because until you get an order, you will not know that. Yes, but these are something that you need to think about. You need to always think about that your variable costs are going to go up and down. All right. So the third one is your hidden costs. These are your profit eaters. So we finished fixed costs, variable costs. So most people, if they're smart, they do fixed costs and variable costs, but they forget, most of them forget about the hidden costs that are going to eat away your profits. For example, I know this sounds very silly, but think about electricity for the fridge, electricity for the lights. Like, for example, if you have a late night order, are you calculating electricity for your lights? Nobody else is up, no? Only you are up, no? Haha, correct? Or you have, for example, you are tomorrow is the order, but today you made the cake tonight. Where are you going to store it? In the fridge, right? Who's paying electricity for the fridge? Laura, I'm gonna mute you.
Really?
You were gonna say
Oh,
something?
sorry. Sorry. Am
That
I not muted?
you're not muted. I'll mute you. Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that we didn't think about this, no?
The knives, those kind of things also, right, Akka?
The knives, that'll come in your equipment cost. That'll come in your
Okay.
fixed cost.
Okay.
Yeah, we are talking about hidden costs. Hidden costs that we don't even think about.
Okay.
See, you are also as a business, you're using the lights, right?
Hmm.
You're using electricity that you're not thinking about. See, anyways, the fridge is there in your house. Yes. But are you using a space in your fridge for storing a cake that belongs to your business? You're absolutely doing that, right? So how do we calculate it is a different story, but think about these are hidden costs. All right? Extra ingredients for trial batches or errors. Did you guys think about that? Give me in the chat box if you thought about that. Yes or a no? Never. Yeah. Like for example, if you're trying out a new recipe, who's going to pay for that recipe? Your business has to pay for the recipe, right? So where will you get that money? You have to put that as cost. Like for example, if you one of your best selling products is a pound cake, you learned it, right? You have to learn it, or rather, you are putting in some ingredients your trial round. Who's going to pay for that? Yeah. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention in your fixed costs is the money that you're putting into yourself to investing in yourself, because the growth is supposed to be a fixed cost. Over every month, every year, or every month, put aside money towards your own growth. Otherwise, you're not going to grow. Like for example, you put in the money to learn about business. If you did not put in that money, will you learn about it? Yes, maybe you will learn, you will get all of this information online, but you'll still have to sit in, either you pay in time or you pay in money. Yes, so that is also put it in the fixed cost. All right. Extra ingredients, marketing expenses. I know right now we are not doing much marketing except for WhatsApp and Instagram. But slowly, as you're growing, you will have to put in a little bit of money towards marketing, because if you don't put in money towards marketing, your sales are not going to increase. You will hit like a plateau. You will go up, but at some point of time, all your unpaid marketing, social media and all of that is going to become stagnant, which is what's happening to me right now, because I've used up all my free things, and I've come to a place where it snowballed, and it came to some sort of, like, what do you call, momentum, but it stopped, which is why last December we actually put in money towards marketing. Yeah, so that's a different game. But slowly think about these are costs that you don't even think about. But suddenly you want to boost a post. Where is that money going to come from? I know it feels like, oh, it's only 83 rupees, it's fine. WhatsApp status, this time I will boost 83. But where is that 83 rupees coming from? It's a hidden cost, no? Yeah. Like even things like getting stuff printed, your cards, your if you're suddenly saying, oh, I know, I don't agree with I don't agree with printing leaflets and things like that, because I don't think anybody reads them. But some of you might be thinking, oh, that's a really good way of marketing. Who's going to pay for that? Right. So this is also a hidden cost that, if you're not aware of it, it's going to eat up into your profits. Cleaning supplies. Nobody, we don't take into consideration only napkins. Also, another thing that you need to think about is also wastage. You make two cakes, you cut the tops off, there is a little bit of wastage there. I know I'm really going anal about it, but even if you don't calculate those little things, just be aware, because every time something is going for waste, it is your profits going down the drain. So please think about that. Yeah. Please write down everything that is probably hidden and you're not taking into account. I'm going to give you like 1 minute for that. Is everybody done? Is everybody done with? Yes, okay, awesome. Karuna is done. Rachel is done. Is Rachel done? Laura and Elizabeth, are you guys done? Please put it in the chat box if you guys are done. I only covered everything. Huh? Okay, awesome. Okay. So the homework that I'm going to give you guys, yeah, thank you, Karuna. Yes, I did. The homework that I'm going to give you guys is very, very simple. I want you in your notebook, make 2 lines. That means 3 columns. Okay, and each title each column. The first one will be fixed cost. The second one will be variable cost. The third one will be hidden cost. So just from tomorrow onwards, every time you're taking money out or you're using Google Pay or something to pay towards your business, write write it down in your notebook saying, oh, I paid this much for hidden costs, I paid this much for variable costs, I paid this much for what do you call fixed costs. Yeah, transportation will also come in variable costs, because depending on your orders only, no, your transport keeps going up or low. Correct? Yeah. So earlier, like I have to give you an example. If I have to give you an example, earlier I used to physically go and buy stuff and bring it back on my bike. So the petrol that I used to put was my transport charges. But now, because so much of it is bulk, what do? I just call them up and I say, hey, send the order. So they book delivery or I book delivery, right? So my transport charges are a little higher now. Why? Because I'm also buying more. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, did it make sense to you guys, the homework? So every time you're spending money, or every time you're doing something towards the bakery, something is getting spent, right? So figure out whether it is a fixed cost, whether it's a variable cost, or it's a hidden cost, and make a note in your notebook. We'll do this for the next 7 days. Is everybody on board? Absolutely. Awesome. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording.